Hello and welcome back, or greetings if you're just now joining us. It's once again your newest science fiction author, Chase. I'm playing a different game this time. We have Cold Waters. Cold Waters is a submarine combat simulator based around the Cold War era and has multiple campaigns of Cold War gun-hot scenarios between Russia and the United States in the 1960s and 1980s, as well as between the United States and China in the early 2000s. I haven't started any of the campaigns yet. I'm still learning the ropes, so I've been playing the single missions as training while I figure out how to captain my submarine and the different abilities of each boat. To pick up where I left off, this particular mission, we're actually playing as a Soviet submarine being pursued by some NATO surface ships with anti-submarine weapons and sensors, which also probably means helicopters. Now let's see which submarines I have as options. The Charlie boat here, world's first cruise missile submarine capable of submerged launch. These boats were a greater threat than Echo and Juliet's. Single reactor makes them slow. Next. Oh, the Alpha boat. Alright, you have my attention now. Fastest submarine ever built, with a liquid metal reactor. Yeah, no joke. Used molten lead as reactor coolant. This is the hot rod, the street racer of all submarines. They can literally outrun torpedoes. Next option is the November class. 1950s, loud, bad sensors, first nuclear subs, no upgrades. So yeah, they're bad. I'll pass. Back to the Alpha boat. I will take that, thank you. Now I've got to wait for a moment while things load. Sorry about that. Computers, Status reports. Let's see what weapons we have on board. 6 tubes loaded with Set 65s and 8 more spare torpedoes, plus 4 SSN-15s. Those are missiles that you launch at a target, and the missile deploys a torpedo. Anti-submarine weapons, I think. There'll be no help in this situation, but
on sonar, lost contact. Last bearing 145. Contact faded.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Okay, stealth mode activated. Look at this nasty monster. It just screams speed, doesn't it? Leave it to the Russians to build something so crazy and extreme as the fastest submarine in the world. Okay, let's open up the map, search for targets, and nothing. My depth is only 110 feet. I'm gonna have to fix that.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 143. Designated Sierra 1.
I'm gonna scroll through the sonar options here. I think that's the right sonar signature, but I'm not sure.
Come right to 181. Helm I.
But, oh man, look at that. This is just a nasty looking submarine.
Con, helm, steady course.
You guys hear that? Are they full of helicopters already? Yeah, there they are. Where's he going? Getting lower. Know what I bet he's doing? He's dropping the dipping sonar already, isn't he? Way over there. That means they know I'm here, even if they don't know where I am precisely. Great. That's a torpedo. Dropping the weapons just to try and scare me into running and making noise, I see. Well, I can go deep and ignore such methods.
Con sonar, Sierra 1
and,
is classified as escort.
My assessment of the Belknap ship. So that's good, I guess. Let's go down to 1,000 feet. Quick
Make
history
depth
lesson while I'm diving.
1000
The Alpha class
feet, dive
submarine
by.
had a hull made of titanium. which made them very strong. They could dive very deep. The sea floor here is at 1,900 feet, and if I wanted, I could almost set the sub down on the bottom. I think the test depth was 1,800 feet. The hard part is working with titanium, because it's so strong it is hard to cut or weld. When they welded these submarines together, they did it inside a giant pressurized building, big enough to house the whole boat. And then the welders had to work inside suits with air supplies because the building was sealed and pumped full of nitrogen, so that they could weld on the boats properly in an inert atmosphere. This torpedo is just going in circles. He hasn't detected me. However, I now have a 95% targeting solution on the ship up there. So let's head back up to the surface and see if I can launch some torpedoes of my own. Can't let their launch go unanswered and have them think I'm scared. From Mother Russia, comrades.
Passing 600 feet. Make depth 150 feet, dive high.
Yeah, 150 is a workable depth. He's stopped entirely up there, which means he's listening. I better slow down and be extra quiet. 3 knots. Now,
make turns
he's
for
motionless,
3
and I know
knots.
where he is. Let's
Maneuvering
have a look at this belt knap. Let's see. 2 propellers, big sonar bulge, big cannon, helicopter pad. Those look like torpedo tubes, which means there's more on the other side. This crane-looking thing on the bow is actually a missile launcher rack that loads
Cons maneuvering, making turns for 3 knots.
And he knows what he's doing. They're right over there. Jeez, he's close. And now the belt knap is moving again. They must have triangulated my position. They know where I am now. No point in hiding any longer. Let's change our course. Oh man, he's really close. Look at that, 3,000 yards. Headed straight towards me. I've got a 95% firing solution. I'm going to launch fish now. He's got no chance of dodging it. Torpedoes away.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Set depth to really deep again.
Make depth 110 feet, dive high.
And there they are, launching torpedoes back at us. They heard the transient noise from my launch
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye. Con sonar. Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 120.
So let's change course.
Come left to
And
1.
Start pouring on the speed.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Run for it.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating. Come left to 117. Con sonar, we are cavitating. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 075. Con helm, steady course. Con sonar, torpedo in the water,
Right.
bearing 152.
Second torpedo's
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
My torpedo made a hit. The ship's big enough though that it was able
Come
to
right to
advantage, and now I can't detect that
154,
with my
helm
ship
aye.
because I'm going so fast.
Con, helm, steady course.
I gotta do the bob and weave, the duck and dive. This part where that speed comes in really handy.
Passing 1,100 feet.
Con, sonar, lost contact. Sierra, 1, last bearing, 0, 5, 6, contact faded.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Torpedoes are going way the other way. Alright, so let's slow it down a little bit and be sneaky again. Sorry I got quiet there for a bit. You know, I was busy dodging torpedoes and trying not to panic. And let's see if I can figure out where this belt knap went.
Con, dive at 1,200 feet. Dive aye.
Change course again.
Come left to 097, helm aye. Con, sonar, regained contact on. Sierra, 1, bearing, 029. Con, helm, steady course.
Let's stay deep and quiet so I can get back up in their business and hit them a second time and finish them off. Alright, so their torpedoes are running out of steam and detonating. That's a safety thing that torpedoes do when they run out of fuel. Time to go back up and finish off the belt knap after their fish all run their course. Anyway, I have to start talking about the actual video topic. I'm sorry, my bad. You know, I got a little carried away since the scenario
Come
threw
right
us
to
right into the action so fast.
131,
Normally, you guys
helm
drift around
aye.
for a little bit and hunt your targets. This time, they were hunting me. Today, we are revisiting the Fermi Paradox, which was one of the first discussion videos, but I think I've gotten a little better at this YouTube thing since then, so I'm going to give this another swing and see if we can't, you know, have ourselves a better discussion. Hopefully, this helps those who may be new to my favorite
Make
genre of
depth
science fiction.
200
I hope
feet.
I'm coming
Dive
to grips
aye.
with some of the major concepts that run rampant in the genre. I gotta sneak my way back up to the surface though. That was really deep. It's going to take a long time to crawl up there at only 5 knots, but we don't want to
Con, helm, steady course.
increase speed and risk detection. Now, I've got these SSN-15s, like I said earlier. I think they're only useful against other submarines, but I'm not sure. I don't think, or at least I hope, they don't know where I am anymore. So I'm going to take a moment, check and see what they're doing up there, and then I'm going to look up these SSN-15s, because I'm not 100% sure I can't use them against surface ships. Here for a quick Google. Okay. Dang. This stirs the pot a little
Come
more. So
left
I was
to
correct.
0,
Those are only
8,
useful against
0,
other
helm
submarines.
aye.
They drop into the water at the target zone almost vertically and dive down. You know, they won't be able to detect surface ships, but submerged submarines, if accurately targeted, won't have enough time to escape. The other thing is, though, those aren't conventional warheads. My Alpha boat is carrying 4 tactical nukes on board. That's a little crazy. Kinda wish I'd decided to offload those weapons at the start of the mission now. I could have used the extra torpedoes. So, back to the discussion topic. Simply put, the Fermi Paradox is, where are the aliens? I mean, the galaxy is so big and vast, and there are so many stars out there. Something has to have life on it, right? I don't buy that we are alone, simply because of the sheer volume of space. So where are the aliens? Why haven't we seen them? Or why haven't they seen us and come knocking? You know?
Con, helm, steady course.
Did you guys see that? There's another active sonar ping. See, there it is again. Do you see that? That's a second sonar ping from over there. That's where the other ship is. That's what launched the second helicopter. Okay, so the submarine plot thickens. I've got to worry about that direction once I launch on the Belknap here. Change course. So,
Come left
keep getting
to
distracted.
0,
Staying on
4,
topic.
9,
To
helm
elaborate
I.
on the statements of where are the aliens and wow, the universe is big, let's use some statistics. There are roughly 100 billion or more stars in the Milky Way galaxy. You know, the 100 billion is the conservative end of the estimations. Using the Morgan-Keegan classification system, our Sun is a G-type star, of which roughly 7.5% of all stars in the Milky Way are of this type. There are also roughly Earth-sized planets, around 17% of all stars. If you only account for those Earth-sized planets, around the 7.5% of stars that are also G-type, that still means there are more than 100, or excuse me, more than 1.25 billion planets that are roughly Earth-sized and orbit G-type stars like our Sun. And that's just in the Milky Way, much less the rest of the universe. With well in excess of 1 billion planets, some of them have to have life, don't they? If 1 in 1,000 of those planets have life, and 1 in 1,000 of those planets that harbor life manages to spawn intelligent life, that would leave approximately 1,300 planets with intelligent life aboard them. Now bear with me because I know 1,300 out of 100 billion doesn't sound like a lot. But 1,300 planets in the Milky Way galaxy with intelligent life, I mean, that's still something.
Shoot
Let me
2-1.
elaborate more
Aye,
after I
sir.
launch this torpedo here. Short range again. No way an already damaged ship
Make
is going to be
turns
able to
for
dodge
1,
an active home
0
at 65.
knots. Maneuvering
It's
I.
time to go deep again.
Make depth 1,200 feet. Dive
I think
by.
that torpedo's locked on already.
Come right
Change
to
course.
0,
And just
7,
to
5,
make
helm
myself go
I.
harder if they try and shoot back at the same spot. Okay, back to the stars themselves, which are on average somewhere between 5 and 10 light years apart.
Con,
In
torpedo
our
room,
case,
tube 1
the
ready.
nearest stars are
Con,
those of the
rig
Alpha
shift for
Centauri
ultra quiet.
star cluster, somewhere between 4 and 4.5 light years away, not far off of the average distance between stars. It is not out of the realm of possibility to communicate with the planets around these stars. One of the most prolific ways humans like to communicate is with radios.
Con sonar lost contact. Con sonar. Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 3, 2,
There's a
9.
second hit. So the Belknap is dealt with.
Come right to 1, 3, 1, helm I.
It's time to put the speed on again, comrades. Oh, the torpedo's right there.
Con sonar no longer cavitating.
I'm going to do what is known as a pro gamer move, and throw the rudder of my submarine around
God,
really hard
knuckle
at
formed.
speed to make a weird vortex in the water called a knuckle. That throws off the torpedo and its sensors. I'll go one way while the torpedo goes that way. But back to the radios. Transmissions with radio waves will travel at the speed of light. So a simple hello, how are you, and a hi, not bad kind of message and reply with boring old radios between our planet and a planet orbiting one of the nearest stars might take nearly a decade to complete this exchange, but it's still possible. They would hear us, and we would hear them. Since in a vacuum, radio waves will propagate forever, in theory. If there is any life transmitting radio waves out there on other planets, well, those radio waves should reach us at one point or another. So why haven't they yet? With all those planets possibly harboring life and transmissions with radios for
Con,
so
knuckle
long,
formed.
longer than the Earth has existed. Yeah, let me throw another knuckle out there. Crazy idea here. I'm going to use all the noise generated by this sinking ship to distract the torpedoes in the water. As another example, we still communicate with the Voyager 1 and 2 probes, which, with radios. 1970s radios, no less. These two
Con
space probes
maneuvering,
are the
making
furthest
turns
man-made
for
objects from the
4.
Sun.
Con,
Each has
knuckle
been
formed.
in constant operation since 1977, and they're roughly 13.8 billion miles from Earth. So far, in fact, that the radio signals between the Earth and the probes take 17 hours to travel
Passing
from one to the other.
1,200 feet.
Yet communication with the satellites is still possible. We're still receiving scientific data from them, still learning from these ancient probes, despite the distance and time delay from the other side of the heliopause.
Con, knuckle formed.
See how close I can get to the sinking ship as it goes past on its way to the bottom. Where'd those torpedoes go? Yeah, they're not on the map. So, good. Those torpedoes have run out of juice. I'm going to go behind this sinking wreck and use its noise to shield me from the other ship that's still out there. It still doesn't know...
Come left to 2-4.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Exactly where it is. So, we're going to go back to...
Con, helm, steady course.
And look how close we are. It'll give you an idea of the scale between the two boats, too. He's right there. It's just...
Make depth 110 feet, dive I.
majestic. Almost sad, but I don't know, did they shoot at me first? Yes, they did shoot at me first. The submarines. The helicopters dropped torpedoes first.
Con, sonar, new contact bearing 207, designated Sierra 2.
Ah, there they are. The game is afoot, all over again. I should be talking about science again. To continue using these distances and forms of communication as example, if communicating by radio between the stars was only limited by the speed of light,
feet, dive I.
I mean, humans have been broadcasting with radios in one way or another with regularity since the 1890s. If we only include the last 100 years of radio transmissions from 1920 to 2020, then those signals from 1920 would be 100 light years away by now. If there are stars 10 light years apart at the high end of our average interstellar distances, then there are 10 stars in any given direction that the signals may have reached by now. I mean, I don't know, that doesn't sound like a bunch, but the caveat here is the signals propagate spherically in all directions.
Con, sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as escort.
Second series is a Nox class. Let's have a look and see what they've got on board. Got a helicopter pad. That's where the second helicopter came from. This big thing on the back is an anti-missile system. It's defensive and can't hurt me. But they've got a big battery of missile launchers and a big cannon up here in the bow. I don't see any torpedo launchers though, so they're a little less scary than the bell canal. I guess we ate the bigger fish first. Good. Alright, back to radios reaching nearby planets. There's an estimate performed by the Hippocros satellite that measured the distances between nearby stars.
600 feet, dive I.
One of the conclusions we can draw from this is that there are roughly a 170,000 stars or so that are within a 100 light year radius.
Come left to 185.
Using the same formula from
helm I.
earlier, that means rounding to the nearest whole, 3 planets of those 170,000 nearby stars may have life aboard them. And those are just what humanity's been able to reach in the last 100 years.
3 knots.
The galaxy is
Maneuvering
estimated
eye.
to be 13.5 billion years old, with roughly 7 new stars being formed every day. That's a long time. It's a long time for a lot of stars, and planets to rise and fall, and life to grow on those planets, and empires to rise and fall, and broadcast radio signals from those planets. Using the 1,300 planets with intelligent life statistic we developed earlier, and then compounding that with the 13.5 billion years the Milky Way has been in existence, and that life forms on those many planets could have been
maneuvering, making turns for
broadcasting
3
with
knots.
radio waves, and those radio signals would be drifting through the cosmos at the speed of light. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. I won't even try to include or further complicate it if we were to include signals from other galaxies near enough for those radio signals to have come to us during that 13.5 billion year time span. Examples like the Andromeda Galaxy and the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy, because that'd be too much math for me to
Con,
put on paper.
helm, steady course.
Anyway, my point is, the galaxy's been here for a long time, there's lots of stars in it, and despite the statistically small probability of intelligent life, there's simply so many stars and planets, there must be intelligent life out there
depth
somewhere.
300 feet, dive
at any
I.
previous time during the galaxy's existence. So why haven't we heard them? Or why haven't they heard us? Again, I pose the question, where are the aliens? There's the Nox. Did you see that? He was right over there.
Come left to
slow, listening for us, just like the
171
Delta
Helm
did.
I.
That's why I'm going slow. Doing my best, not to be heard. I'm going to change course. Let's see if I can slip in behind him and fire those torpedoes in their rear, because they can't hear through their own propellers. They'll never know what hit them. It's a shame I can't use those SSN-15s on surface ships, nukes or not. Otherwise I could fire from a shallow depth and not have to worry about torpedoes or getting into a firing position. Their anti-missile systems would probably spot them and shoot them down anyway. I digress. It's hard to talk about the Fermi Paradox without mentioning some of the other factors that have played major parts in the discussion over the years. I don't have to go over it again. It was written by Dr. Frank Drake
steady
in
course.
1961 to calculate the probability of intelligent and communicative life in the Milky Way galaxy. The Nox is still just sitting there though. Such an easy target. Look at that big scary gun. Ugh. And this funny bulb on the bow of the ship, that's the active sonar that he's been pinging and listening to us with. This is taking forever though. With that backdrop of the other sunken ship and all making all that noise back there. I'm going to increase my speed just a little bit. Use the game's time dilation option too. 4 knots.
Make turns for 4 knots. Maneuvering I.
Alright, I think he's turning on us. I'm going to fox off these torpedoes and dive deep and fast. We're at a moderate range anyway. They won't have that much time to make a getaway or maneuver. It took 2 hits for the other ship. I'm going to fire 2 more
dive
this
at
time.
300 feet, dive by.
Kick another 2.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Perhaps the most important part of the Fermi Paradox discussion,
Make
the
depth
great filters,
100.
which are factored into the Drake equation.
Make
But
turns
great filters
for
are
5
things that
knots.
stand between life
Make turns
and
for
becoming intelligent life. Natural
10
disasters,
knots.
thumbs,
Maneuvering
the
I.
ability to make fire, famine, pandemics, and all the fun stuff that can wipe out a civilization somewhere in between crawling out of the primordial ooze and crawling into the vacuum of space. Now let's follow these torpedoes on the
Con,
target.
helm,
Just for
steady
fun.
course.
It'll be cinematic.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 103.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 090. Contact breaking up.
It's done. The second torpedo's gonna lock.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
It's gonna hit 2. I mean, might as well, just to be sure. Now, those pesky helicopters are still up there, and their ships may be sunk, but they still have fuel and weapons on board the helicopters. So I'm going to try and return to ultra-quiet battle stations now, and set another super deep depth setting, and we're going to cruise out of here, slow, deep, and quiet, without them finding us.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
In my favorite tabletop game, Battlefield, which is a big part of the humanity was spread all over the galaxy, and despite how many planets humanity had colonized in the lore, they never found any intelligent life. They did find alien life, but it was never intelligent life among the stars, and thus the
Come
game
right
lore
to
avoids the question entirely.
201 Helm I.
So this combination of Battletech and the question, where are the aliens, rattling around in my head, is what really got me writing in the first place. I started
Come
writing
right to 236 Helm
to
I.
answer that question before I was even aware of the Fermi Paradox discussion. Anyway, thanks for listening and watching as I sink some ships.
Make turns for 4 2
Now that I'm
knots.
full deep
Maneuvering
in
aye.
course change, I'm going to go back to the Russian submarine warp speed. 42 knots submerged is equal to like 45, 47 miles per hour.
Make
The
turns
amount of power that
4
must take is just
0 knots.
unfathomable.
Maneuvering aye.
And yes, that was a nautical pun, and it was intended. I'm going to turn the time dilation back on to, get us to the safe zone even faster. Also, while I'm here, the third part in the promotional
Maneuvering,
series of
making turns
short
for
story teasers
4
for the book that
0
comes out
knots.
today. I'll leave links, for all three of the videos in the description. Part 4 will be is still on the way and should come out soon. And then, even sooner after that, the real deal, the book, The Descendant,
Ring shift for ultra
will get
quiet.
published. I'm still trying to process what this feels like, because this is really happening. It's the reason I'm here talking to you, making YouTube videos, and rambling at such length.
Come left to
Anyway,
219
thank you
Helm aye.
for watching and listening, being here. For any comments or likes, I would love to talk science fiction with y'all, or even just
Make
science.
depth
Let's
1,
have a
2,
discussion.
0, 0 feet, dive aye.
I look forward to it. Anyway, I think I'm sufficiently far enough away from all that to be able to safely end the engagement. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, where I have some even bigger announcements. But thank you for your time. I'm sorry this one turned out a little longer than the other ones. Again, thank you for bearing with me. I'll see you out there.